Hey, this is from the most recent episode of The Nick Symmonds Show. I have linked that show in the description below if you want to watch the whole thing. But today, we're talking to Jason, and he had the greatest question about running form. You know me. I'm the bison lumbering out there. It ain't pretty, but it is powerful. But what about the really graceful runners out there? I'm talking the Nick Willises of the world, Bernard Lagat, guys that just glide along effortlessly. How important is that? We get into that and more in today's clip. Let's roll it. Welcome to the Nick Symmonds Show. You can ask me anything.
Thanks, bud. Hey, so I sent you an email on this, and there's a little more detail on it, but I saw a video you did with a kid, Zach Levitt, and
Yeah.
I'm a thrower or used to be a thrower a zillion years ago, and I played D1 football as a nose tackle at Baylor. And so, as I was watching the video with Zach and just noticed he had a really great form.
Yeah, he does. He's got a pretty stride.
And I started thinking about that and look at it on the side. I kind of do geeky analytics for football as an amateur, real serious analytics though. And I started thinking about efficiency, and efficiency is a really big thing in football, and strides with efficiency kind of caught my interest. And so then I started thinking about and look at some videos and stuff, and I thought about like Michael Johnson, really quiet runners, right? Michael Johnson. And then you look at Kipchoge, and Kipchoge's got a really, really quiet form. And then you look at, and obviously really fast there. And then Jesse Owens going way back, right? Really, really quiet, super quiet running form, right? And then you're going to go the opposite way with Usain. Was not a quiet runner at all, right?
No, but pretty quick.
but damn fast,
yeah.
Right? And so you look at like Matthew Bowling now, who's just tearing it up, and he is not quiet at all. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
And then the bison was obviously really fast.
The loudest on the track, rumbling around.
So what do you think about that? Is that just, what were you guys thinking? Was that just, okay, this is my style and I'm just going to keep it and I'm going to work with it? Or was there any goal to change it to become more efficient?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think to a certain extent, we're kind of born, in these bodies, right? And we want them to be the most efficient bodies that they can be. And people say, well, Nick, your form's so bad. Why didn't you work on your form? Trust me, I worked on it hard. We did form drills, positioning work in the gym. I mean, I worked really hard. But at a certain point, I'm the bison. I'm not built like a light little gazelle. I'm not David Rudisha gliding along effortlessly out there. And similarly, you could take Usain Bolt and try to monkey around with his form and make it quieter, and it may mess him up. So we do have to play the cards we're dealt a little bit. I always felt like if you're doing the training, then your body is going to take the form that is most efficient for that body. Like I was doing the right training. I think I really maxed out what this body was capable of. And my body just kind of, evolved into this more bulldog-like position. They called me the buffalo. A buffalo runs incongruously fast out there on the plains. It doesn't make sense. We don't understand how the buffalo does that.
Short legs.
Yeah, the bison does it, but they move so freaking fast.
Right.
Now, if it's me, and you mentioned so many great runners out there, when you talk about a quiet or graceful form, Nick Willis comes to mind, Bernard Lagat comes to mind. They just glide along so effortlessly. And if I could look like that, I would. But there's no amount of training, there's no amount of stretching, there's no amount of anything that's going to allow me to look like Bernard Lagat, running around the track, just light on my toes. But the cool thing about running, actually, as a thrower, you'll appreciate this. The coolest thing about track and field is there is an event for every single body type. And what I loved most about being part of Team USA, you'd sit down 125 athletes strong every time you made a world championship team or Olympic team. And we would sit down together, and I would have a 90-pound female marathoner on my left and a 320-pound corn-fed thrower on my right, and we are on the same team. And then, even you break it down even further in the men's 800, you have every race, every ethnicity, every nationality on the track, and we all come within, a fraction of a second of each other in an 800 meters. It truly is the most inclusive sport in the world.
Agreed. I wish I would have thrown a little longer, but I kind of specialized, I was kind of gave it up and specialized, and I did do some age group stuff later on. You ever think about doing age group stuff?
I do, but I do it in CrossFit now. So some people
Okay.
ask me, Nick, why aren't you doing Masters Track, or why aren't you setting more running goals? If I've been meaning to make a video on this, and maybe I'll do a Monday monologue about why I've shifted my focus more towards lifting and CrossFit and other things. It's hard for me to get excited about track and field for myself, because I set so many PRs and did so much. I'll never run a 356 mile again. I'll never run 142 for the 8. And sure, I could dabble in a couple different events, and I did that in the 100. I did that in the marathon. But I love challenging myself in new and interesting ways. And in fact, yesterday I did that. I threw the shot put for the first time. So for me, it's more about trying new things where I feel like a fish out of water. And when I walk into that CrossFit gym, I'm like, I am so freaking bad at this. I'm just really bad. I'm not even like top 10 in my gym. I get my butt kicked every single day. And I like that feeling of being pushed outside my comfort zone.
Yeah, they say, have enough balls to fail at something that you're not good at, right?
I love failing. I love failing because
you don't learn. You don't learn if you don't fail.
Exactly.
Right?
It causes me to go home and sit on YouTube and watch videos about how to be better at whatever I'm trying to learn. And I just love that process of learning and failing and learning some more. And once I feel like I've really gotten good at something, then sometimes, my scatterbrain gets a little bit, bored with it, and I go on to the next thing. But I think that's a really fun way to live your life, is to just find out what you're curious about, throw yourself all into it, and
have fun.
There's a lot of stuff out there that's really fun to learn.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, I really want to thank all of you for watching these clips, and I really want to thank those of you who join me in my weekly Zoom meetings to ask me these questions. If you want to join, just text me at the number below here. I send out a text blast before every single recording. You could join me on the Nick Symmonds Show and ask me anything. This week, we talked a lot about running. If you guys want to check out my books, I do have 2 books available that can make you a better runner. One, aptly titled How to Be a Better Runner, available at nicksymmonds.com, hand autographed if you act now. And then also my 2012 Olympic training log, every single workout I did to prepare for the Olympic Games. That's also available at nicksymmonds.com. They are available as digital downloads anywhere in the world, or as autographed copies, shipping free in the United States. Check that out at nicksymmonds.com. Thanks, guys.